Yesterday we learned that Arizona Republican Governor Jan Brewer vetoed Arizona Senate Bill 1062, the putative amendment to the Arizona Religious Freedom Restoration Act, or RFRA, that currently applies to religious assemblies or institutions. And not surprisingly, she was urged to do so by other Republicans such as Mitt Romney and John McCain. Arizona's RFRA statute, in its current form, mirrors in many respects the federal Religious Freedom Restoration Act and similar acts passed by many other states. These laws are designed to protect, as a matter of statutory law, a private citizen's right to religious exercise. Consequently, under these laws, including Arizona's current law, the government may not substantially burden a person's exercise of religion unless the government can demonstrate that the burden is in furtherance of a compelling interest. Moreover, the government must show that it's the least restrictive means of furthering that interest. This is known as strict scrutiny, which is the standard test applied to laws that violate fundamental constitutional freedoms. There's nothing new here. Arizona's RFRA, however, defined person as including only a religious assembly or institution. The controversial new law simply sought to clarify and amend the definition of person so that the law's protection of religious freedom clearly extended to any individual, association, partnership, corporation, church, religious assembly or institution, or other business organization. By way of a footnote, our federal appellate courts are currently split over the question whether the federal RFRA applies to for-profit corporations. That is an issue currently before the U.S. Supreme Court in the Hobby Lobby case. There's no dispute, however, that it does apply to all individuals as well as non-profit corporations. So it is. The entire public uproar, from the homosexual activists and their willing accomplices, is an objection to extending the fundamental right of religious freedom as a matter of state law to private business owners. And why the uproar? Because this law seeks to defend religious freedom and thus traditional family values, two of the main targets of the homosexual agenda. Make no mistake, the agenda of homosexual activists, which is nothing more than a frontal attack on our Judeo-Christian values, particularly with regard to the sacred institution of marriage, is harmful to society and is harmful to the common good. Indeed, marriage, which is at the core of this battle because it is the foundation of a family, the domestic church, is not just any relationship between human beings. It was established by the Creator with its own nature, essential properties, and purpose. No ideology can erase from the human spirit the certainty that marriage exists solely between a man and a woman who cooperate with God in the procreation and upbringing of new human lives. Consequently, the common good requires that laws recognize, promote, and protect religious freedom, because in that way, society can protect marriage as the basis of the family, the primary unit of society. Surrendering religious freedom, and thus traditional family values, to those who promote the homosexual agenda, as Governor Brewer unfortunately did here, ultimately results in the approval of deviant behavior, with the consequence of making it a model in present-day society, thereby obscuring basic values which belong to the common inheritance of humanity. People of faith cannot fail to defend these values, for the good of men and women and for the good of society itself. So it is that the Arizona legislature wanted to protect the religious freedom of its citizens from those who seek to impose their deviant and immoral agenda upon them. Like the case in Colorado, where a court ordered a Christian baker to bake a wedding cake for a homosexual union even though that violated the Christian sincerely held religious beliefs. Or the case where a Christian professional photography business was brought before the New Mexico Human Rights Commission and lost when it refused to take pictures at a homosexual wedding. Unfortunately, what this controversy demonstrates once again is that so-called conservative politicians will cave into pressure from the progressive left almost all of the time. And the homosexual progressive left is about as vicious as it gets. They've come out of the closet swinging with both fists, armed to the teeth with political rhetoric, and no match for the spineless so-called Republican conservative who tends to be frightened of the shadows cast by the constitutional principles professed to be so cherished. Constitutional principles designed to protect our Judeo-Christian values for the good of society and thus for the good of our nation. May God bless you, and may He continue to bless America.